Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Goddess Suite. We are back. Mystic Feather, are you on the line?
I most certainly am, and I'm so happy to be back on the air with our listeners, getting back into the groove of things. It's been quite a minute since we've been on, but trust me, it was a little bit beyond our control, and we just put it all in the universe's hands that it was for the best.
Exactly. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with Blog Talk, and there were other people that were having difficulties also, their listeners weren't able to hear them. And so we were just like, what is going on? And they sent us an email talking about, we're changing over, this and that. So that's why you guys haven't heard from us in a couple of weeks, but hopefully you have been listening to our archived shows and still, holding on. And we're just so glad to be back. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I am too. We just confirmed, and it's confirmed that Del Goddess will be on Thursday. So, no, AKA Fibroids, she will be on Thursday. So she's going to be coming on and discussing September and what's going to be happening. She said it's a lot of things going down in the month of September, so, we just got to be aware, our people, it's all good for us, but, you still want to be aware of the things that are going on.
As always.
And we will be discussing that hot topic that everybody is so intrigued about. We will be talking about those melanated aliens and things like that, and what's going on with the people of our time right now. And believe me, you guys, if you thought the last two shows were good that she was on, this one's really going to blow you away because we're going to be really discussing some other things that you guys need to check out. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Well, as always, we want to make sure that you guys are following us on social media. Of course, I know you guys are following us on Blog Talk. We are so thankful for that. But make sure you follow us on Facebook at Goddess Suite. We have a group. We have two pages. We have a page and we have a group on Facebook. So follow us there. We're on Instagram. Where else are we? We're on Twitter at the Goddess Suite. I'm all over Holistic Gals, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, Periscope. I'm trying to get back on Periscope. I liked it at first, and then I think I got a little bit overwhelmed because I was getting so many notifications and alerts, and my battery would be dying. And I was like, I was just getting overload. So I took a step back, but I'll be back on Periscope soon to bring you guys more information as far as your business and just different holistic remedies and things like that. And also, there is a new social media site that's been out for maybe a little over a month and a half now called Blab, BLAB.IM. Please make sure to follow us on there also. At Holistic Gals and at the Goddess Suite. And we're going to be doing a couple of shows on there also, and you'll get a chance to be a co-host with us if we choose you. You can also come in. We can see your questions. You can sit in the hot seat and just kind of hang out with the goddesses live. So I think that's going to be fun. I've been enjoying that lately. So just make sure to follow us and stay tuned. So tonight we have a beautiful, beautiful goddess on that's talking about another one of our favorite topics, the yoni. And this is about keeping the yoni fresh and clean, which I'm sure most of our goddesses do, but there's some goddesses that have a little difficulty in that area sometimes, have a little bit of imbalance. So we want to welcome her on as she talks about her Yoni Detox Pearls and how it can help aid you on your healing journey. But first, we're going to play a song. You may remember this one, Mystic Feather. This is from Queen Latifah. I kind of took it back a little bit. This probably was let me see. This was 1989. Woo! And this is from, this is from her album, All Hail the Queen. So this is Queen Latifah featuring Moni Love, Ladies First, because, hey, it's always ladies first, goddesses first. We're the creators. So sit back, relax, get your cup of Goddess Blend tea, and we'll be right back.
Sexualization of on the mic. why? Cause I'm that type. Wearing with beat 45 King style. He wants me to sing, but I'll swing for me. Wow. A footnote for the opposite sex. Mooney rip the mic, I rock it next. Flex. You never catch me at my worst. You get the drift? It's ladies first.
All right, welcome back to the Goddess Suite. As always, ooh, ladies first. Ladies first. There we go.
Yes, yes.
All right, and I'd like to thank you all again for connecting with us. Don't forget to come into the chat. I see we have someone in the chat. If you have any questions you want to type in to us, then go right along. That's working again also, so I am super, super excited. This is perfect timing. This is really perfect timing. Because usually I can...
No, I was going to say, I always say a setback is nothing but a setup for a come-up. So I look at it as all good. You know, we had to go through those 3 weeks off, you know, rejuvenate and
yeah, I'm telling you, because that chat usually it's never worked for me. I usually click it and it's searching and searching. So you're absolutely right, absolutely. I guess the universe said, take a break, ladies. You know.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, without. Go ahead, Goddess.
I was saying I'm ready to get into this Yoni talk because we have had letters written to us by some of the goddesses who are dealing with certain issues of the womb, and it's just it's real disheartening because you know a lot of women are not in touch with their bodies, and you know you just be surprised how many women haven't explored down there to see how it's working and what's going on, and then once they only do it like when something comes up. But we've gotten so many letters concerning this. We even had a lot of letters concerning the hygiene issues with women. And so we really want to get into this because there are so many different alternatives to helping heal ourselves down there, and we want to keep it right because that's where all our creativity sparks from. That's where creation is. So we definitely encourage you, sisters, to call a friend, tell them to call in, or have them listen to the show when it airs, so they can listen to the replay, and really just start healing down there. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help assist because we're all on the journey of sisterhood together. So it's nothing to be ashamed about or embarrassed to discuss. And that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, we've had goddesses who, have had children and didn't know that, your cycle and, when you release, toxins through urination were two different places. So we as women, we have to really make sure that we're exploring our bodies and just taking care of ourselves always. Self-preservation. That's my favorite thing to say. Self-preservation first. So without further ado, we would like to welcome Miss Vanessa White. She is currently a master's student pursuing a degree in community psychology that believes in natural methods to self-care. She believes that African women, diaspora in particular, deal with many things that affect our creative space, and that is our womb. She believes we should look to how our ancestors healed, which was through herbs, and just do that. So, without further ado, Goddess Vanessa, welcome to the Goddess Suite. Hello?
Hello.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
She's on, because I see her number.
Come on, Blog Talk. Let the goddess come through and grace us with her presence.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So, once we wait for her, I think that number was different. Okay, so like we were saying, so Goddess Vanessa tonight, she's going to be talking about healing our wombs with the use of Vaginal Detox Pearls. Now, this is something I had never heard of before. I saw them on Facebook, and I was just like, wow. And I saw a couple of videos on YouTube from women that have actually used the detox pearls, and they had great results from it. I'm like, wow. You would never think. I mean, we've done a show on the yoni eggs, and, you know, we talk about the yoni, and we talk about different herbs that can heal, but usually it's you taking it, you know, by mouth, but never anything that you place inside the yoni, and then you're able to heal that way. So I am so excited to bring on Goddess Vanessa. There she go. Okay, here we go. Hello, Goddess. Welcome to the Goddess Suite.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad you guys have invited me to talk today.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you here. You have such a creative method of healing, assisting women with healing the wombs. How did you come about this creation?
Well, honestly, I actually found out about the Detox Pearls through a Facebook page that I was on. And through that Facebook page, I saw photos of what looked to be like Discharge, or like Discharge with different discoloration, and just stuff that just didn't look right that was coming out of the vagina. And so from that, one of my sister friends, she actually tried the Detox Pearls. And from trying them, she showed me her photos of her discharge and, you know, what she was able to detox out of her womb. And I was like, whoa, you know, I got to try them. And so from then, she started selling them. And then from then, that's when I started selling them, and I gained more knowledge on it for myself and my personal experience using them, because I've used them probably about 8 or 9 times now. And I've seen lots of results in terms of what other women have been able to detox and just different issues that a lot of women have. Even just talking to some of the clients that I deal with, you know, there's a lot of emotional trauma that you know, sometimes I'm not prepared to hear, but I do hear, and it's just, you know, really sad. So just to think about these herbal pearls and get into them, it's kind of just like, wow, like, it's the fact that we're going back to nature in order to heal ourselves, and not, you know, really using man-made medicine in terms of like the pills and the different chemicals that they have, but going back to nature, which is what I think a lot of us should be doing.
Absolutely. Can you tell us, like, what are the types of things that are coming out with the pearls?
Yes. We've had some women who experience endometriosis, and so with that, basically that's when it's a disorder in which the tissue that normally lines the inside of the uterus, it grows outside the uterus, and that causes a lot of pain. And basically with that, with women that have detox, some women have detox old blood clots. And so that's old blood clots that has been in the uterus for a long, long time that causes pain during their menstrual cycles. And so that, we have yeast, we have pellets, we have different kind of discharges with the mold, as well as just a lot of different things. It's like even one lady, she detoxed a tunnel, like a piece of a tunnel that was causing her to have polyps. And so a piece of a tunnel that came out, it kind of looks like a small bone, but that came out of her vagina. And so just those things that, you know, old scar tissue. Some women have had hysterectomies, and so they've detoxed old scar tissue. So there's things that you really wouldn't normally think that would still be in the vagina womb area are. And so just imagine not using the pearls and imagine that stuff staying up there for years and years. I've had women detox mucus recently. And so when you see the things that you detox, it kind of makes you think about your diet. It kind of makes you think, what you may be going through at that time. And so to think about all that stuff that may not have come out before using the herbal detox pearls, it kind of makes you wonder, well, would it have caused some cysts? Would it have caused fibroids? Would it have caused like a future ailment that maybe you did have to get surgery for in the future? And so I feel like even with the Yoni pearls for women that don't have any like endometriosis, fibroids, cysts, bacterial vaginosis, heavy menstrual cycle, because I don't experience any of those things. My cycle is pretty regular, on time. I don't have any cramping like that, which I'm blessed to have because I know so many of my female friends, as you mentioned earlier, experience a lot of that. I have female friends that, they can't function, like they have to stay home or they throw up when their time of the month comes. And so when you have things like that going on, that's when you kind of have to analyze, what's going on inside of me to be causing all this, because that's, that's abnormal. It shouldn't be that painful to be, menstruating. And so with the detox pearls, I just think they're really beneficial, and I think they can also be used as preventative, if you want to look at it as preventative medicine, because like I mentioned before, I don't experience any of that, but I still detox once every 2 months. And I do that, and I still receive some toxins coming out on that 6th discharge day.
Okay. Oh, wow. So for a woman that has painful periods, what could be going on to cause her to have those the cramps and the headaches? And could it be? I know it could be emotional and something physical going on, but what type of emotions could be causing that? I'm just saying because I just noticed a lot of the females I work with, were having some, issues like that. So I was just wondering, like, what is the emotional? Is it the emotional state, or could it be the diet?
I would say it's a mixture of both. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Queen Afua, but she talks about that in her book called Sacred Woman. And basically in terms of emotional trauma, as women, there's a lot of sexual abuse that goes on at a young age, even a lot in the Black community especially that goes unsaid, untold. And so with that can cause, past traumatic events like that can cause trouble in the womb area that can be built up and built up and built up, that distrust, that mistrust, all those negative emotions, anger, fear, all of our emotions can be built up and they can cause fibroids. They can cause cysts because when you think of your mind and when you think of energy, your mind is a pretty powerful thing. And so when you're having positive thoughts, you're giving away positive energy. When you're having negative thoughts, you're giving away negative energy. All that impacts us, and it also impacts our womb as well. And so in terms of the heavy menstrual cycles, the throwing up, and, just not being able to function, I really charge women to really take a look at what's going on in their lives. Are they not communicating with their womb area? Just like you mentioned, there's been so many women that don't even take a mirror and look at their vaginas. They don't even know how their vagina looks. It's kind of like, okay, I use the bathroom, I wipe, and I go. But take the time. Take the time to look at her. Take the time to speak to her. You have to look at your womb area. Like, that's yourself, as you mentioned earlier, your creative center. So you're going to have to speak to her. You're going to have to love on her because she helps you function. And so when she's not right, you're not right. And so you have to kind of sit down, sit back, and then analyze what may be going on. And that even just includes a simple thing just as, looking at her. Like, a lot of women have even told me, I'm using the Detox Pearls. Wow, this is the first time that I've looked at her in a real long time, because during that detox process, there's things coming out. And so I tell women between that 4th and 6th day, take a mirror, look, because you're going to see what wants to come out. Don't mess with it, but just wait till it naturally comes out. But, just imagine, like, years of never having to look at her, like, that's neglect. And your woman's like, hey, look at me, look at me, So I definitely think in terms of, like, the heavy and painful menstrual cycle, something that's very abnormal. In terms of the diet now, a lot of our foods are genetically modified. A lot of our foods have different chemicals in it. As women, in terms of taking care of family or just taking care of everybody else but ourselves, we have, very busy lifestyles. And so with those busy lifestyles, we're probably going to go out to fast food and eat fast food, or we're not just taking care of ourselves, practicing self-love the way that we're supposed to be. And due to that, that can cause, fibroids, that can cause cysts, that can cause, bacterial vaginosis, that can cause a lot of things that's going on with the womb. And so you kind of have to look at that what's going on that's abnormal, why am I in so much pain, and really self-reflect and then go from there.
Okay. Well, now, Vanessa, we're going to have some people that are going to say, communicate with my womb, talk to her. So for our beautiful sisters out there who might not have ever communicated or talked to their yoni, could you give some tips or some pointers on how they might can get this process rolling and why it's important?
Yes. The first tip I do want to say, I do strongly recommend women to look into Queen Afua's book called Sacred Woman. It's called A Guide to Healing the Feminine Body, Mind, and Spirit, because throughout her book, she actually has affirmations and different things that women can say throughout their, to their womb. And so in regards to the first step, I would say, taking that mirror. I think the first step is honestly taking that mirror and taking that time to look at her, whether it's standing up and you're in the bathroom and you just put it under to look, whether you're in the privacy of your own bed, just want to take to look. I just think taking that mirror, analyzing her, saying, I didn't know this was here, just, taking that time to acknowledge her, because I feel like that first step is just that acknowledgement. Affirmations, you could say, hey, my womb is my creative center, and just say it over and over. My womb is my creative center. My womb is my creative center. I love my womb. Even just that simple thing, I love my womb. I love my womb. I love my womb. And even having that mirror look at her while you say that, that's positive energy going into your womb area. So just those little things I think are really, really beneficial, because it's kind of like, it's kind of like being in a relationship. And let's say you're in a relationship, and that person doesn't take that time to even acknowledge you or look at you. How would you feel? How would you feel like this is the person that you're with all the time, but they take no time to acknowledge you at all? You would feel pretty down, pretty neglected if that person doesn't take that time to affirm you. Hey, babe, I think you look really nice today. Hey, babe, you got it. You look good today. I mean, how would you feel if that's the type of relationship you were in? That wouldn't be a really good relationship, and so it wouldn't end nicely. And so I use that example because in terms of like the different things that may be going on that's abnormal within the womb, you have to first analyze that relationship and be like, okay, maybe there's something going on with the relationship that I have with my womb that's causing all this, because this is abnormal. And you have to recognize that it is not normal to have to take Midol every month your period comes. It is abnormal to have to, sit at home for hours and hours or not be able to function throughout the day because your menstrual cycle comes. That's abnormal. And so once you realize that, that's when you can be able to equip yourself with, okay, well, what am I going to do now in order to acknowledge her and in order for her to feel better, in order for me to feel better, you know what I mean, and to feel healthier.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And, I was going to bring this up and see what you think about this, because I was told, I'm going to just keep the person anonymous, but I was told by someone that was speaking to their significant other's womb, that while speaking to their significant other's womb, that the significant other had left her body and saw creation and saw all of this and that. And so I just thought about that, because since we're talking about talking to the womb and acknowledgement, that, you know, just by you speaking life, you know, you really can create some things, you know, that you have no idea that could be created. But, I mean, I just really, really hope our sisters get more in touch with getting to know their yonis, and because, you know, a lot of us have been shamed so much about it that, you know, it really makes a lot of us feel uncomfortable discussing it, you know, or, you know, or touching or whatever, because, you know, the way a lot of us have been brought up. But do you think that in this time that we're living in now, that women are really more sexualized, more in touch? Like, it kind of seems like the roles of the woman and man are being reversed. Like, the women are more out there. They're on the poles. They're on, you know, they're just going, you know, dressing, you know, nudity, everything. So, and just doing their own thing, you know, using men as, you know, sex toys, whatever. But do you think that right now is really, the energy is really bringing women into their sexuality?
I would say yes and no. So yes, because I do believe that I have seen a lot more women being more comfortable with their sexuality and being more comfortable being sexual beings and not, you know, feeling ashamed of sex and feeling ashamed of, you know, their pleasure as well. I see a lot more information like vaginal steams and just a lot of things going on, or, you know, working with your yoni energy, yoni eggs. I don't know if you guys have heard of yoni eggs, but I've seen a lot of that more going on, and I think that's really, really good. I say no only because I still see some younger women, whether they're more out there sexually, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're taking care of their wombs the way they're supposed to. I mean, it could just be out there sexually and have all types of sex, and that'd be great, but at the same time, you know, is it fulfilling? You know what I mean? Is it fulfilling for them? Is it making their wombs happy, or is it just filling a void? Because there's a big difference. And so, yes, because I see a lot more things in terms of consciousness rising, in terms of women knowing about their divine feminine, in terms of women knowing more about herbs to heal, in terms of women knowing about, like, yoni eggs with crystals to heal, like, just different things in terms of going back to nature to heal, yes. But in terms of the other side around, there's still so many sexual advertisements, so many sexual music videos, different things like that, and that's nothing sacred, that's nothing divine, that's kind of just, I feel like it's still patriarchy at the same time working. So yes and no, yes and no. But I want to read an affirmation or like a poem that Queen Afua had in her book, if you don't mind.
Sure.
That could help some women.
Yes.
All right. So it's called My Womb by Queen Ife and Cassandra Battle. It says, I commit to heal myself. I commit to healing my womb. The womb that a nation generates, the womb that a nation penetrates, by birth and birthing babies, woman, womb that we do create. The hard blows and trauma by what we ate, the dairy, the meats, the rape of your emotional, your physical being, the deed of you who enters my womb, my sugar wall, who I let enter in an angry state, creating havoc or the lustful pleasure I partake. And when the baby I kill, by choice to terminate, the cysts, the tumors, all from what I ate, oh womb, what a wretched state. We kiss, have mindless sex, which stimulates abuse. Abuse, the womb accumulates. The down low blues, pain, sickness does not relate. Then all disorders will constipate. My womb communicates, degrading, injected toxins, suffocate. The womb from her agony expels the poisons she regurgitates. Let's do spring cleaning, the doctor dictates, and the surgeons diligently wait for the womb, the doctor says, too late. I fought for my womb to remain whole. Not a fraction will you take. Not too late, as the doctor states. I then turned to alternative medicine. Now I could relate, especially in my state. My womb cries out. I hurt, I ache, and screams. The broken dreams, unloving relationships, family and men. I now flush down the stool, Using the lever as my tool, I flush away all the waste. I take my time and not in haste. I vacate, eliminate, I cleanse and cleanse. I make love to my womb. I elevate. I say to my womb, I love you, womb. I say to my womb, rejuvenate. And so I think that was a really, really good affirmation and poem in terms of women. Like, it goes over everything, like everything, all the trauma, everything.
Yes, it covered everything a woman could possibly go through.
Yes, everything.
Can you repeat the name of the book again?
Yes. So Queen Afua, so Queen, so Queen, Afua, which is ASUA, and it's called Sacred Woman, so SACRED WOMAN, and it says A Guide to Healing the Feminine, Body, Mind, and Spirit. And Queen Afua is a natural holistic practitioner, and she's also African-centered. And so a lot of the things that she has in her book, she is like what I've been taught, like from the knowledge that I've gained, from Queen Afua, honestly, because she goes in depth within her book on the different cleanses, the different, yoga, meditations, the affirmations, songs, everything in terms of getting back, to your divine feminine and in terms of healing your womb, So she's really good reference.
Oh, wow, that was beautiful. So beautiful. And it's I mean, the depth of that poem, I mean, it's not a sister you don't know that it went through at least one thing that was in that poem.
I agree.
And it just really brings us back to the emotional trauma, because we know that, in order for it to manifest physically, it has to begin in the spirit. And it's so many women that are hurting from past things. Like you said, you've heard things that, you wouldn't believe. And I'm like the same way. Like, I would hear a woman come to me and tell me some stuff, and I'm just looking like, wow, I can't believe you told me that. But,
yeah.
But, sometimes they need to, release it. Sometimes a stranger is the best, way to release it without the judgment. And now I want to get into the Yoni Pearls, because I want to know what is in them, or do you put like a blend of herbs, or how are they made?
Okay. And so they have different herbs, and a lot of the herbs are Chinese herbs. And so you have all-salt, and basically that herb is used in terms of vagina. It strengthens the uterus, kills parasites, and relieves itching. Then you have rhizoma, and that's used for stopping hot flashes or removing different toxins. Motherwort, which regulates menstruation and removes toxins. Angelica, and that also regulates menstruation. And Borneo, that reduces pain, clears the mind, and stops hot flashes. And so a lot of these herbs are Chinese herbs, because in terms of the Yoni Pearls, there's a U.S. supplier that I usually get them from. But a lot of it is, like, I want to say, like, Chinese herbal medicine. And so I feel like a lot of it, a lot of women in the United States are just not hearing about them. But these pearls have been here for a long, long time, long time. But I've just been noticing that a lot more women in the States have, been hearing the benefits about them and using them, which I think is really, really great, because we have such fast and individualistic lifestyles, and I feel like this, in terms of these pearls, like they're really, really beneficial in terms of something more holistic in terms of modern medicine.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Vanessa, when the pearls go in, I mean, is the matter stuck to it when they, what's the process of once you insert them? What's the process like?
So with the pearls, I just want to go over them for a little bit. So basically, if you are a woman that is pregnant, breastfeeding, or if your hymen is still intact, we do not recommend you using the pearls. And so usually you would wait 10 days or more before you use the pearls before your next menstrual cycle. So 10 days or more before your menstrual cycle, you can use them. or you would wait 3 days after your menstrual cycle. And that's only because we don't want you to use the pearls during any kind of bloodshed. And so in terms of using the pearl, I usually give my clients a tampon applicator. And so basically they get a tampon applicator depending on how many pearls they use. And usually I recommend 3 pearls at one time. That's what I seem to have the best results. And so you would take the pearl out, you would open up the tampon, you would take that tampon out because we're not going to use it. All we need is a tampon applicator. Then you're going to unravel the pearl because it has a string at the end. So you're going to unravel the pearl. Then you're going to get that string into the hole of the tampon applicator and place it in. And so then from there, you're going to insert that tampon applicator as far up as possible and then insert that pearl up and then take it out. So you would insert it as if it is a tampon and then take it out. And then you would do that for the other 2 pearls that you have left as well. And so by that time, all 3 of the pearls are in, and then you can tie a knot or a string, and so when you take them out, you can just come out all at one time. So during that process, it's a 6-day process total. You're going to keep the pearls in for a full 72 hours. So, remember the time you put them in, so then you can wait those full 3 days and you take them out. When you take them out, during this process, there's no intercourse. So you're still detoxing. So when you take them out, some women notice a little bit of dryness. And so what I usually recommend is some olive oil or coconut oil. Some women may also recognize like a white, discharge around the lining of their vagina, the lips. And so that's all the toxins coming to the front, as well as old dead tissue coming to the front as well. And so they're waiting. So this is day 4, 5, and 6. Between days 4, 5, and 6, you may experience some different discharges coming out. And so for these days, the next 3 days, I recommend women wearing a panty liner, but they don't have to. They can just wear their underwear. But some women have experienced some discharge, coming out before that 6th day. On that 6th day is when your real discharge will happen. And so if you've been looking up at your vagina with the mirror, you're going to see something that wants to come out. It may, look like a white thing that just wants to come out. You're going to be like, what is this? You know what I mean? Do not touch it. Just let it do what it does, and it'll come out on its own. And so on that 6th day, that is when the actual discharge happens. So whether that be in the underwear, whether that be in the shower, sometimes the discharge happens when women use the bathroom when they're taking like a number 2, and they don't notice that it comes into the toilet, or when they wipe sometimes, but it'll come on that 6th day. And so on that 7th day, everything should be okay, depending on what women have, because there's different cleanses for what would be going on with women. Like some women, if they have fibroids or cysts now, I would recommend back-to-back cleanses. So when I say that, I usually recommend that 3 pearls equals 1 full cleanse. So when I say back-to-back cleanses, that means, okay, your 6 days just happened, your menstrual cycle is not going to be coming soon. All right, let's start another process, another 6 days. And so you have another back-to-back cleanse. And that's because the herbs and the pearls, they create a natural pulling effect of the toxins within the vagina. So it's pulling all of that, pulling all of that to the front, and then that's when your discharge happens. What else am I going to say? Some women experience like some itchiness sometimes, because I know I've experienced that, and that's because as your vagina is creating that detox effect, all of those toxins are coming to the forefront of the vagina. And so because all those toxins are coming out, they haven't discharged yet. They're still waiting 3 more days to kind of fully come out. And so your vagina may be a little irritated. And so what I usually tell women, because I've done this, I've taken up a warm bath with Epsom salt. And so for every day it may be itchy, you just take a warm bath with Epsom salt, and that should soothe the itching until your detox happens. For women that have fibroids or cysts, they may experience some slight cramping, and that's only because of the herbs and the pearls. It's creating that pulling effect, and so you may experience this slight cramping because it's trying to pull away all that tissue that's built up to create that fibroid or that cyst. And so that's what I've seen so far with some women. But other than that, I've just had some different stories, like, and different sites, because I really recommend women to tell me, hey, I try to keep in constant communication with them. Hey, what's going on? Or they'll tell me, oh, I'm feeling like this, or, oh, this is what came out today, and they'll send me a picture, because I always say, hey, send me a picture. Let me know what's going on, because not only is a picture good for your knowledge and for your friends, but it's good to share that. And I say that because the pictures are they can be very graphic. And so it can be a little gross looking to, from the person that just may look at it and not know what it is or what's coming out of you. And so the reason I say to share it is because your process or your detox of what may come out of you may influence another goddess queen to use the pearls, and may influence her to actually use it, because some women have a lot of hesitations with using it. It's not prescribed from a doctor in a white coat. And so because our minds have been trained to only kind of accept the doctor in a white coat says, it's kind of like, you have that hesitation, which I completely understand. But we as women, and we as in particular, and I stress this, we in particular as African women, our ancestors come from Africa. We are medicine women. We are herb women. We use herbs to heal ourselves. So it should not be with hesitation that is such a great hesitation. Like, this is our knowledge. You understand? This is our knowledge that we need to take a hold of and take back. And so even just using the pearls and seeing the effect that they may have on women, and seeing what comes out of women, it tells you something. It tells you, wow, hey, I didn't think anything was wrong with me, but yet this came out. You understand? Or, hey, I've been having this vaginal odor, but the doctors don't know what it is, but they gave me some pills that may stop it. But on honesty, what it's doing is killing the good and the bad bacteria in the vagina, and that's not good for the vagina because that changes the pH balance. So it's kind of like, wow, would I rather use herbs to heal, something from nature, or would I rather use something that's man-made? Would I rather have this fibroid surgery, or would I rather try these pearls first and see if they help? Because one thing that we do say, especially for me with Goddess and Godlike Creations, we do not make guarantees. We do not say, hey, this is going to cure this. We say that this will help you on your healing journey. Why? Because it is always a healing journey, especially for women. And especially for women getting back into touch with their womb area, it is always a healing journey. Nothing is ever, I just finished this and I'm done now. No, you're never done. Like, you're alive still, so therefore your womb is still there. You have to take care of her constantly. So, I don't know, I just think it's very interesting because I get a lot of that, like, would you try this? Would you try this? And I understand women would love to like, have you done this before? So then they feel more comfortable. And so that's why I tell women, hey, take those pictures. Your information is anonymous. I post it on social media so that other women can see, hey, these pictures are graphic, but wouldn't I rather have this stuff out of me than inside of me? You understand? And so it's just a sharing of knowledge, I think, that we need to continue to do and communicate with one another. If you have a sister friend that's going through horrible, painful periods, horrible fibroids, they're telling her, she has to have surgery, tell her to try these pearls from anybody that sells them, not just me, because there's so many other queens and goddesses out there that sell these detox pearls, and I think that's a great thing. I think the more women that have them and that can share the knowledge, the more women can be able to heal for themselves and not have to rely on somebody in a white coat. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know, I just think it's just getting back to what we used to do, and I feel like we've been so far removed from that. It's just so abnormal to be like, you don't have a white coat, so I don't know. So that's why I encourage women to share the picture. So then, like, okay, well, I feel a little bit more comfortable because, hey, when my sister friend, because I was intrigued when I first saw the pictures, but when my sister friend tried them and she showed me what came out of her, I was like, all right, I got to try to, I need to see what's going to come out of me because I don't know what's going on down there. So I just urge women to keep sharing, share the wealth of information because it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's a lot of good information as well.
I cannot agree with you more, Vanessa, especially because we put so much faith in the medical doctors when we can heal ourselves. And, it's just amazing, like a man in a white coat would just prescribe all these different drugs for a person to take, and they'll take, my doctor said.
Exactly.
And you don't even know where these chemicals that they put together for you to take come from. But you know where herbs are coming from. It's coming straight from, the earth and the trees and and so forth. So I'm so glad that you touched on that because that was one of my next questions. But I did want to ask you, like, what is the difference between taking the herbs orally versus you using the pearls? Would it be the same effect or would it be a different effect?
It will be different. And I also want to touch on vaginal steams as well with this too. And so with taking the herbs orally versus the detox pearls is different because it's good to take stuff orally. It's good to cleanse that way. That's great. But at the same time, with the pearls, they are where they need to be. They're in your vagina. They're in your womb. They're in your uterus. They are where they need to be because that's where you're trying to detox right away. And so when you take it orally, it's going to go through all your body systems, which is great because it can cleanse other areas and other organs, which is wonderful. But in terms of direct application, in terms of a precision, like I want to try to heal this area, then you want to insert it where you want it. And so placing it within the vagina, you're keeping those pearls in for 3 days, directly in the vagina, directly in the womb area, and it's in that area for 3 days. Like, you cannot get any more precise as that. You cannot get any more, I want to detox this area in particular. And so with the difference, I would just say it's just that you have more of a stronger effect because it's directly in the vagina if that's where you want to cleanse. If that's the area that you're looking to be like, okay, I want to cleanse and detox my yoni, then you're putting it in your vagina, and I think that's the main difference. And when I say that, in terms of vaginal steams, in case some women don't know what that is, basically it's using herbs, and it's kind of sitting over like a hot bowl or a hot toilet that's steaming, that the herbs are being kind of steamed, and all that steam from the herbs is being put into the vagina. And so you're kind of detoxing the vagina that way too, but then again, which I think is a great method. I actually want to try it one day. I haven't tried it yet. But at the same time, that's still outside of the vagina. It's not inside the vagina. So for women that may be breastfeeding, for women that may be I would say maybe still have their hymen intact, then they may want to opt out for the vaginal steam, or they may want to opt out for the oral method, instead of using the vaginal detox pearls that are directly going to the source. So I would just say that's the only main difference, but all of them are meant to help heal help to aid in the healing journey as well.
Okay, wonderful. And it's funny you mentioned the vaginal thing because me and my sister, we both had done, and it was great when she said what happens is when you're sitting over the pot, the mucus goes into the pot, in the wood. But the only thing is when the pot gets hot. It gets hot. And so that was the only, unnerving thing about it. But other than that, it was a good experience. But I think that, the next thing I would probably want to try is the pearls. I think I'll be a little safer.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on something real quick in terms of partners and pearls. And some women have been like, because, during the detox process, this is 6 days. You cannot have sex during this time, no sexual intercourse. And so some women already have a monthly menstrual cycle, and some women do not have sex during that time, or some women do have sex during that time, but some choose not to. And so it can be, about, 14, 13 days without sex. And so for some couples, that would be a lot. And so for the women that have told me, hey, what am I going to tell my husband or, my partner at the time, I will say tell them that you are detoxing your vagina. Tell them that you are detoxing your womb so that poom poom can be the best thing they've ever had. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, they may have to wait. Yes, they're going to wait. But if you're healthy, if you're the woman healthy, and, that's where they want to, be, and they should be able to have that patience and be like, okay, my lady's just detoxing right now. She's just detoxing, and, she's taking care of herself, so I'm really supportive at the time. So I would say just say to partners, be really supportive of your woman during that time. It could be rough for them, too, to not, have to have sex, too, but just be really, really supportive because it's going to benefit both of you. And there's even been some women who have been trying to conceive and they haven't been able to conceive, and so they've, you know, I've heard of one case where one woman, she never gotten pregnant before, but after using the pearls, she actually ended up being pregnant. So I don't want to say this direct correlation, but I'm just saying that for some cases that has happened before. And so it's just certain things you never know what will happen when you use the pearls. But for partners, just to be really supportive, like, you know, just be supportive, be there for her. In terms of talking to the womb, I feel like if that partner is with you every day, it should not be abnormal. Like, if you're going to start talking to your womb, your partner should start talking to your womb, because your womb doesn't have to know your partner. Your womb should know your partner. So, you know, tell your partner, hey, you know, I love you, womb, or hey, I love you, or just some positive affirmations towards the vagina or the uterus area, because I feel like when your partner does that, that makes you feel so good as a woman. That makes you feel so good that your partner is so supportive of what you're doing, and just, hey, you know, my partner really loves my womb area. I feel good about it. Like that makes you feel amazing as a woman. So I would definitely want to urge my kings, my brothers, my sisters, just please, please, please be supportive of your partners. Like, and another thing, like, a lot of men that I talk to sometimes, a lot of kings I talk to, sometimes I talk to them about the pearls. And so I know I was vending on Sunday at a natural hair health and hair expo, and you know, some of the men are with their woman, and I'm talking to both of them when I speak, and they're kind of like, oh, why are you talking to me? I'm like, well, I'm talking to you, King, because you may have your mother, you may have your sister, you may have somebody, a friend, you know, that may be experiencing heavy menstrual cycles, that may be unhappy, that may have had past emotional trauma, that may have fibroids, that may have cysts. It's not just a woman thing, like, it's the whole nation. You have to include the men as well, because they interact with females too. So I just I talk to the kings and the queens, because at the same time, like, you can pass this information on to your wife or to your partner. It's not just for a woman. Like, if you're a king that knows this information, especially about, this is a natural way that could possibly heal some things or can possibly help with certain things, things like, hey, sister friend, I just heard about these Yoni Pearls. Have you heard about them before? I think you should try them. You know, I've heard about your stories about this, and that, or like the heavy cycles with the pain that you're going through. I recommend them for you. And I think that's what we need to be going to. Like, it's a community effort, because once the women are well, the nation is well. Like, you have to keep that in mind. Like, as I mentioned, like, the women are creative source. If women do not have their womb area, that is a tragic, tragic story. Like, Black women in particular, African women, are 6 times more likely to have hysterectomies than any other group of women. And that is not done by accident, people. That is not an accident. If your doctor is recommending, I don't really know what's going on right now. You know, I really think maybe you just have to have a hysterectomy. So wow, I have to take out my whole womb, my whole creative center. And there have been women that have had hysterectomies, and if you've had a hysterectomy, you can still use the Detox Pearls. But it's just that this is a creative center. Like, we give birth to the next generation of people. So you gotta look at your yoni as this amazing, powerful thing, this amazing source that, wow, like, this is what I am as a woman. Like, my yoni is powerful, and you need to keep that in mind, because when you believe that your yoni is powerful, you're gonna start treating it like it's powerful, and you're gonna start respecting it. And I think that's a big next step as well.
Beautiful, beautiful, goddess. That was a mouthful. I mean, I'm loving it.
I know. I'm like, beautiful. I feel like a big sister. It's like, I'm so proud of Vanessa, because she's one of our younger goddesses, but she is dropping this yoni knowledge, and it's just amazing. And we are so grateful. We are so grateful. I'm just sitting back listening like, yes. You know?
I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad.
Yeah, so Vanessa, say for instance, if you have some creative, like maybe writer's block, or you know, you're just stagnant in your creativity, is this another can it assist in this area?
Yes, I would definitely say so, because I feel like when you're using the Detox Pearls, when you've actually made that conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm gonna try this, you made that conscious effort to be like, that's when you're acknowledging your yoni. If you haven't acknowledged your yoni area, your womb area before, you've made that conscious decision to be like, okay, I want to try these pearls. I want to see what may come out of me. And so I feel like you've already made that acknowledgement. And so if you're having creative blocks, vaginal dryness even, just different things that's going on, I feel like because you've made that conscious effort, you're already acknowledging her, and so that should help as well. And that should only further push you to continue acknowledging her. That should only further push you to make some affirmations. If some women are into crystal healing, different crystals, like the rose quartz is a pink crystal, natural element, and it's known to aid in self-love. It's a love crystal. And so for some women, I would even recommend, like, if you're using the Detox Pearls, you should meditate with that stone in particular, because there's just so many things that we as women are bombarded with that we do. We do a lot. We do a lot for other people. Like, we do a lot for other people and not ourselves. We don't take that time for ourselves. It's just like, no, I gotta take care of these people, and then I can take care of myself. But if you're not okay, and if you're not doing well, then how can you take care of other people? And not even that, but I mean, that's what we see on TV, what we see as beautiful on TV, what we see as beautiful in the magazines. I mean, it goes deep. You know what I'm saying? So just even meditating with that crystal, the rose quartz, that's self-love, doing affirmations. I love myself. I love myself. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am, I'm worthy of respect. I am worthy of respect. I am. Like, just saying I am, whatever comes after that, it changes something in your mind. And through that, when that changes, that energy that you're creating, because you're creating an energy with your words. You got to look at your words as powerful, too. Like, your words, I don't want to say magic. People say magic, but your words are powerful. And so if you say, I am beautiful, you're going to start acting like that. I'm worthy of respect. You're going to start acting like that. I am in love with myself. You're going to start being in love with yourself and taking care of yourself. But you have to have that belief first. You have to have that first step. So if I feel like the first step is you getting those Yoni pearls, that's your first step, just to even acknowledging your womb, because you're going to insert her. And some women are going to take a mirror, and some women are going to look at her. And so that's that first step. And so even if you don't buy the pearls and you just want to start writing affirmations, and you want to start maybe using the rose quartz and meditating, doing some yoga, something where your mind is being still, something where you're not taking care of everybody else, something that's just you and yourself, personal. Taking a bath, like in the book I mentioned before by Queen of Four, I was going through the gateways. I mean, it's taking a bath in the morning time. That's something so simple that you just never think about. I haven't taken a bath. Like, I'm talking about a sit-down bath. You put your Epsom salt. You put your little lavender petals. You put your essential oils, your body oils. You put on some candles. You play some soft music to yourself. Like, that is something that's self-love. Yes, or nighttime, whenever you have time. But that's self-love. Like, that is a simple act of saying, hey, I'm going to take this time up for myself today. I love myself. I'm going to take this time. I'm going to relax, and I'm going to take a bath. Like, I never thought about that concept, like just taking a bath, just something so simple like that. That is your time for yourself. In that bath, you can have a mirror, look in that mirror. I am beautiful. I love myself. And do your affirmations. Like, this is stuff that we should be doing on a daily basis. And, like, I feel like if we were, we'd have so much less just disease of the womb, so many less unhappy women, just women that, know themselves and know their power. Like, once you know, it's really, really good. But I also want to say something, not just as women as a whole, but in terms of African women, black women from the diaspora, we are bombarded with so many more images in terms of beauty, in terms of even the simple things like our hair. I've seen a lot more natural women nowadays, which I really, really love. But even just that, like, we are just now restarting to love our hair, or restarting to go natural, or restarting not to put chemicals in our hair, because a lot of the chemicals, those perms, lead to fibroids, lead to cysts, lead to baldness. But this is not stuff that we're researching. You know what I mean? Your skin is your largest organ, so whatever you're putting on your skin, and that's why I'm saying these man-made medicines are not made for us. Whatever you're putting in your skin is going through your bloodstream. So imagine that. If you cannot read those ingredients, you don't know what that is, that should be a notification in your head. I maybe shouldn't be putting this on today, or, you know. So I feel like even just that, like, just a lot of things going on, especially with younger girls, like just them knowing if they're beautiful. Like, all this starts from childhood. Like, do you see that your mom is walking around with natural hair? Do you see that your mom is, you know, self-affirming herself and loving herself? If you don't have that, then, you know, where's the role models? You know, we need to be our own role models for the future generations coming up.
Right.
That's
So
right.
And what you said about the chemicals in the perm, there was a doctor that was showing, like, he cut it. Well, when the person is dead, and they cut into the brain, how the perm just sits on top of the brain. It was just sitting like on the dead person's brain.
Oh, that's crazy.
So all that perm, it just was going through the pores and just sitting there. I mean, you know, it's no telling how the person was when they were alive mentally to have the chemicals just sitting like this on their head. So I absolutely agree wholeheartedly. And, you know, it's all of this is purposely perpetuated on the television to make us feel less than. But you must know, like Vanessa said, you must know that you are beautiful, that, you know, you must say these things to yourself every day.
Yes. It's a constant attack.
Yes.
It's a constant attack.
Eventually you will become this. So, Vanessa, your energy was just so beautiful. We're just so thankful. We want to know, where can people find you at? And also the pictures. I want to know where I can see some of these pictures.
Okay. So I have an Instagram, and it's called Goddess and Godlike Creations. And basically, you can follow me on Instagram at GG Creations. That is GGCREAATIONS. Don't forget that double A. So GG Creations. I'm also at www.facebook.com/Dinkwanesh Pearls Vanessa. And Dinkwanesh is spelled DINQNESH Pearls, PEARLS Vanessa, VANESSA. As well as, if you just want more detailed information, brochures, how to order, different things like that, you can email me at ggcreations@gmail.com. So that's GGCREAATIONS @gmail.com. And what I usually send is like a brochure with information as well as how to order, just different things like that. Feel free to ask me any questions pertaining to particular issues. You know, I've had women ask me, hey, I have bacterial vaginosis. Hey, I have yeast infections. Hey, I have this and that going on. Or, hey, I don't have anything like this going on. And I just tell them, you know, my story. I don't have anything going on, but I still use them. So I try to help women that way as well. I ship orders. So in the United States, outside the United States, I ship as well. And coming up, I will be also shipping with the Detox Pearls some free samples of the scented whipped shea body butter, hair and body butter that I make as well, just because not only is the vagina supposed to be nice and cleansed, but as I mentioned before, with the skin, like there's so many chemicals in our lotions and different things like that that's going on. With the natural hair and body butters, it's just shea butter, cocoa butter, olive oil, all those good nourishing ingredients that you can actually pronounce, and that if you actually ingested it, you wouldn't have to call poison control. So all those natural ingredients that, you know, can be good for your body as well. And so I'll be trying to send those out in small sample sizes as well. But I wanted to read a review that one client of mine made, and it's also on the Instagram page as well as with the pictures. There are some graphic photos out there, ladies and men, so just be prepared to see them. So one lady, which I really appreciated, she said, I have suffered with yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis for a long time. I have tried many treatments, but it always came back. I want to try a natural treatment that will treat the cause and not just the symptoms. I was not sure how to react to the pearl, so I just used one to determine if it would actually do what it was supposed to do. When I used the pearl, I had already had a bacterial infection at the time, but all of my symptoms were gone after the detox was over with no side effects. I will definitely be ordering more because I know there are more toxic elements that have to be removed. This is a great step to achieving a healthier and happier yoni. And so below that I have her day 3 and day 6 pictures. And so on the third day you take the pearls out. And so on that takeout day, some women may experience some discharge coming off onto the pearls, but that's just a little bit. And so on day 6 now is when your actual discharge will come out. And so some women, like in that picture, you'll see it kind of looks like mucusy, kind of white going on. And so you just see the before and after, like what's happening on your third day and your day 6. And so I was really happy that she was really able to write a review on them. And she only used one pearl, and so I can only imagine what would have came out if she used all 3 at one time.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Now, Vanessa, okay, because you brought up bacterial vaginosis. Now, we had another goddess on, and she was telling us that is, I think, like 80% of the time it's because the male is having sex with another female that has it, and that's why the woman keeps getting reinfected. Is there any truth to that?
I honestly don't think so. I've heard that, honestly, it's just caused because sometimes it could be the male sperm based on what he's eating, and that could be causing a pH balance change within the vagina. And so when a man may be ejaculating in you at that time, that may cause bacterial vaginosis because of what they're eating. And so that's when I was talking about just being supportive and you as a couple, it's kind of like it's not just an I thing. That's a we thing. Like, sex is a we thing. So what you put inside your mouth is going to affect me if you guys are using, not using any kind of contraceptives like that. And so that's what I would say. Some women, it's not based on sexual partners. Some women, after with using condoms, they get it. And so I think there's a variety of different things that women can get the bacterial vaginosis from. And so with that, it causes vaginal odor or different things like that. I've had some women say, the smell is just, very embarrassing for them. Like, it doesn't smell like it's supposed to smell, And so with that, I usually recommend a woman to do probably about 3 or 4 detox cleanses. They don't have to be back-to-back, but just 3 or 4 in general in a close amount of time because I feel like the doctor usually prescribes, like, antibiotics for that. But you have to understand, these antibiotics that they give you, your vagina has bacteria, but it has good bacteria too. And so if you're giving your antibiotic, you're cleaning out the good bacteria. And so you're cleaning out the bad and the good bacteria, and that's causing a change in your pH balance. And so your symptoms may go away for a little bit, but they're going to come right back. And so that's what I'm saying, like with the man-made medicines, they're kind of helping you with what's going on right now, but it's not going to the source. So it just depends. But I was glad that she was able to write that because she actually does experience bacterial vaginosis and yeast infections reoccurring. And that's not natural. Like a yeast infection, that's not natural. It shouldn't be something that's happening, multiple times. That's not natural at all. So I just think that with the pearls, there's so many doors that it opens that create healing in different ways. Like, it's just very interesting. There's one, if I can find it, I got to go in my email. There's one thing that some women have told me about. It's these cysts. I'm going to try to find the name, but there's cysts that basically women get on the outer lips of their vagina. And the cyst is very, very painful. Very, very painful. Doctors say the only thing they can do is basically have surgery, but that's it. And it's called a Bartholomean gland cyst, and basically it blocks the duct. And so during that time, it's just really painful. And so I've had a lot of women come to me and tell me, hey, I have this, with the pearls help. And so what I'm trying to do is basically get some women that do have that, and basically they do have it, to try the pearls. Let me know how it goes, because then you'll get a discounted price, because I want to hear your review. I want to hear your review on things that I may not have clients that have that. And so if there's a woman that has those things like that, that's something that I may not hear about, then you can definitely talk to me and negotiate different prices with me, because I would want you to try them, and I want to get your review so other women that have those things can be like, okay, well, I want to use these pearls because I've seen that another woman who have had this, it has helped them, But every woman's vagina is different, so it really just depends.
Wow. I definitely...
Okay.
be trying and spreading the word about them because it's so many women that, you know, sisters we hear all the time writing us about, you know, all of these issues that they have. So we would definitely spread the word and be a guinea pig or whatever. Are you coming to the D.C. area anytime soon?
I may actually in the summertime. One of my godmothers lives up there in the D.C. area, and so we may have a big celebration coming up. So in the summertime, I may be up there. You never know.
Oh, my gosh. You have to contact us.
Yes.
I will. I just received an email from somebody, and I want to read it because she's on the call. She says, hey, I'm on the call now, and I have several questions. I have fibroids and endometriosis, and I'm on birth control. When do I stop taking the birth control to use the Yoni Pearls? And so when I tell women, first because I'm not a certified doctor. Like I said, I'm not in a white coat. But what I'm trying to say is that you want to detox your womb. And so as women, we have to realize some things. Having a menstrual cycle is completely natural. Completely normal. It's completely normal to shed blood every month. We have to also recognize and learn that our menstrual cycles is a very spiritual time for us. It's actually a very divine time for us in terms of being in touch with ourselves as women, in terms of being in touch with our intuition. A lot of women, indigenous women, used to have some things called red tents, and basically you would go inside the tent during your time of the month, and you would all be on buckets, and you would all shed your blood together. Our cycles, I don't really like to call them menstrual cycles. I prefer moon cycles. They are in tune with the moon. Our cycles, are 4 weeks. They wax and they wane. They are in tune with the moon. Around, like for me personally, mine usually comes around a new moon. And so we just have to keep that in mind, like our cycles are divine and they're supposed to be there for a reason. I can understand nowadays, you don't want to get pregnant or different things like that, but we do have to keep in mind that our cycles are completely natural. So for my personal opinion, to stop something that is completely natural that comes every month can lead to other abnormalities just because that's something that's supposed to come every month. That is a natural process. Like, why would you want – I can understand you want to stop it if it's very painful, but you may want to take care of understanding why it's very painful for you to be on birth control. In terms of stopping to take the birth control to use the Yoni Pearls, that is completely up to you, love. Whether or not you want to stop using the birth control, want to use the pearls, you can. I know that I don't use birth control. I'm not on birth control. I believe that it's very abnormal to stop something that is just so divine and so sacred to us. If you read different things just about indigenous, we have to go back to what our ancestors did, ladies. Like, what our ancestors did, that's what we need to go back to. Like, if they were not taking birth control, they were not popping these pills every month or every day, to stop something that's so natural, then why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? So I would say that's completely up to you, love, but you do not need to stop using the birth control to use the pearls. You can definitely use the pearls on birth control, whatever you decide. Her second question was, how often do you use the Yoni Pearls if you are on birth control and don't have a menses? And that I would say is a plus because if you are not having a menstrual cycle, like if you're going through menopause or you just don't have a menstrual cycle, you are able to use the pearls back to back to back. And that's because you don't have a menstrual cycle, so you don't have to stop when your menstrual cycle comes. So every 6 days, you can use it back to back to back depending on what you're experiencing. In terms of how often you use the pearls, like I said, every woman's vagina is different. It depends on what's going on. If you are having fibroids or cysts, then you're going to want to use the pearls as often as possible because we're going to break down that tissue. If you're having endometriosis, probably about 3 to 4 cleanses. If it's just you don't have any of those symptoms, you don't have a heavy menstrual cycle or anything like that, then just, once every 2 months like me because I don't have any of those issues. If it's vaginal odor, I may recommend 2 cleanses, And so just as back-to-back if at all possible. Let me see. It says, long story short, I'm trying to have a kid and I'm trying to stop birth control now. However, I have been in intense pain and bleeding for months now. I would like to understand how the Yoni Pearls would help. And so, like I mentioned before, and that's what I know. I know that some women do get on birth control because their periods are just too horrible to bear, and I completely understand that. I would honestly do some reflection. Reflection in terms of, why am I having intense pain and bleeding? Am I taking care of myself the way I'm supposed to be taking care of myself? Am I writing affirmations? Is there some past traumatic trauma that have gone on with me or my family or anybody that I know in terms of my womb area that I have not dealt with? Because I was in a conference recently, and we had a women's circle, and some of the women talked, they're about 30, 40 years old, 50, some of them, and they talked about how, they have had some trauma in the past, and it affects them, and they haven't been able to talk about it with anybody else, or even themselves. It's kind of like just going through a routine and just not mentioning, not even being truthful with yourself about it. And so all that built up, that's some anger, that's sadness, that's a lot of things going on. Secretiveness, that you're not bringing out into the open, that can cause a lot of different things in terms of the woman and yoni area. And so in terms of the heavy, the Yoni Pearls, they can be used if you have heavy and painful menstrual cycles. And basically what that is, it can basically detox sometimes, depending on what it is. Detox what may be causing that. If you have something going on, it just needs to detox. And I've noticed some women have used the pearls, and they usually have irregular menstrual cycles. But when they use the pearls, their cycle starts. And when I tell women, I say, that's great. I tell them, take the pearl out. Because the pearls start when they use the pearls, and I tell them, take the pearl out because you don't want to use it when you're in a menstrual cycle. But take the pearl out, but that is a step to progress. You should be happy that menstrual cycle came because you're not used to it coming. So the fact that it's coming, that's like, oh wow, oh wow, my cycle's coming. That's great. That is something that's natural.
That's a victory,
Exactly. And so to be thankful and to be grateful for that. And one woman recently, her cycle was irregular, and so she tried the pearls, and like I said, the cycle started, and so I told her to take them out, so she did, but she came to me the next day, and she said she was discharging some really dark colored clots, and she pointed to the picture that I have online about the dark old blood clots. And I was like, wow, that's good. That means, she just had the pearl in for one day. And I was like, you're discharging old blood clots. Who knows if that could have been in the way of her regular menstrual cycle. That's just sitting there in her womb that was just not able to come out, and now they're coming out. And so I think that's amazing. So in terms of intense pain and bleeding, I would definitely say try the pearls. I definitely think they would help in healing, and not healing, but help you on your journey in terms of healing. There could be other things in terms of emotional trauma or just self-love that could be going on that's causing that, but I definitely think the pearls can help you with that. She also says, my goal is to come off birth control and in some way have a normal period detox and then get pregnant. I'm just trying to understand. Sorry for the many questions. Don't apologize. Don't apologize at all for the questions. And for any of you ladies out there that have other questions, never apologize for your questions. It may take, I try to get back to you as soon as possible, but if it takes me a couple hours,
hello?
It just takes me some time. Hello?
Okay, your phone is breaking up just a little bit, Vanessa.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It may take a little
that's
time.
Okay.
Okay, good. It may take me a little time to get back to you, but never apologize for your questions. I think the questions are great. I think the questions are really great because then it allows me to do more research as well as just be able to be more personable with you. I try to, when I talk to my clients, to be as personable as possible. I want you to be very clear, what's going on with you? Tell me what's going on with you so then we can see how these pearls can be helping you. I need to know what's the progression that's going on. So I think that's really, really good. I think that's great, love, that you want to come off birth control. I think that's amazing. I think it's great to have a normal period again and just to be reconnected into what we used to be reconnected with. So I'm still going to reply to your email via writing it out, but I just want to get to you over the phone since you said you were on the line, love. So thank you so much for your questions.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh, so
beautiful.
I had another one. Some women always ask me, they have an IUD in Marina, so a different type of birth control, but the one that's inserted internally. You can still use the pearls if you have an IUD in, a problem. You can still use the pearls. I just want to make an announcement about that. I would say you can probably try one or two at a time, but I've never had any issues with women who have had IUDs in. You can still use the pearls, so feel free to order and use them still. So, yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. What about someone that might have had their fibroids removed surgically? Would they still benefit from using the pearls?
Yeah, they would still benefit because even for me, like I said, like I don't experience any of the things that I've mentioned, like any ailments that I've mentioned before, but they're still beneficial for me because different things can be going on at different points of your life. You have your ups and your downs every day, and so you never know what will be going on that will be affecting your womb at that time. And so they can always benefit you no matter what. In terms of just having your fibroids removed, I think they can still benefit you greatly because you may have scar tissue from the surgery left over. There may be things that were going on during that surgery that you don't know about that may want to detox as well. So I think it's definitely beneficial to still use the pearls even if you have had your fibroids removed because there's a lot of things that go on with healing and especially healing from a surgery and healing from a surgery that's invasive, that's very invasive to your womb area. So I definitely think some natural herbs can, be very, very beneficial to that area at that time.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, Vanessa. I mean, you are just full of information. I'm so happy that we had you on the show tonight. Do we have any listeners that have their hand up? Holistic Gal, that might have a question?
No, I believe that the one caller that had her hand up, then I think she ended up emailing Vanessa. I think they're just chilling, but the lines are packed, so people are listening. I was like, wow.
Well, goddesses, please support this sister. She is healing wombs. She is, she's going out of her way to make you not be able, not have to get surgery and go through the conventional ways of healing. Like she said, we are a people and we come from the herbs of the earth. We come from healing ourselves naturally, instinctively too, because when it's something wrong with you, we know instantly when something's wrong. We don't even have to go to the doctor. We know. You could go to the doctor and utilize them for what they're for, and that's diagnosis because that's all they're going to do when you go there anyway is diagnose you with what possibly could be wrong. They don't even know for sure. So take your health into your own hands. You are the healers. You are the one. We heal the earth. The women heal the earth. And we heal each other and we heal the men. So, don't just take a doctor's word for it and think that that's the end-all, be-all because you have it within yourself, the intuition to connect with your higher spirit to know what's going on with you. Your body will tell you instantly. So please support Vanessa because she's doing an amazing work, and I just can't wait to have her back on to hear what goddess is contacting her and their experiences. And we encourage you all to write us and share any experiences that you have with Vanessa and her pearls. And also we want to hear about the shea butter that she has, how that experience goes. But just keep us informed and support. Spread the word. Tell your sisters because we all know someone is dealing with womb issues. It's just inevitable. I mean, we would be a fool to keep this information under wraps so we can be helping our sisters out here. And that's what we need to do. I mean, we go out and we meet so many sisters who are angry, don't want to speak to you, think something's wrong with you.
That's another show. Oh, my gosh, yes.
You all need wounds cleansed. That's what it seems to me.
That's what it comes down to. Those yonis are mad because you are not communicating with your yoni. You're not telling her you love her. I mean, just like Vanessa said, if you didn't hear it, catch the replay. In the beginning, she was telling us we need to be talking to our yoni. You need to have a mirror. You need to be exploring that area, affirming your yoni, and telling her that she is powerful, that she is a creator. It is so important on this goddess journey that we're on. And I see Vanessa just healing a nation of Women. I just see her doing that. She's so passionate. She is so passionate about this, and this is what we need right now. We need healing. And once, when the woman is healed, it trickles down to the man, to the children, and to the land. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, young goddess, that you came on the show and just
you just like a little spark of fire.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it as well. I appreciate it a lot. I definitely do.
And we just encourage our goddesses listening, embrace your sisters, because we are all reflections of each other. So if you want to know how somebody is, see who's around them. That'll tell you a lot about that person, because you've created and brought all these different characters into your life off of being, I don't know why I'm losing train of thought tonight. I mean, but we're all reflections of each other. So I just say, be kind to your sisters. Talk to them, love them, say hi, just sporadically. Just say hi to one. I mean, all of this attitude and anger it seems to me, Vanessa, maybe it's a bunch of residue built up in the womb and it's angry, but you can't be angry at your fellow sisters. I mean, you have to check yourself. If you're angry at your sister for no reason, then you need to check what's going on with you and your womb. So we highly recommend get in touch with Vanessa and clean those wombs out and get your yoni back, get her back straight, get her back happy so you can be happy.
I agree, ladies. And remember, you guys can contact me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ThinkWithNashPearls or at Instagram at GGCreations, that's GGCreations, or email me at ggcreations@gmail.com. Don't forget, it's a double A, so ggcreations@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to speak with you and answer all your questions, as well as send out brochures and information so we can continue to spread the knowledge amongst our other sisters. And remember, that is your sister. So think about it like, that's my sister, and I want her to be happy. So I don't want her to be healthy. So that's my sister. So say that. Maybe that'll help with the anger.
My sister. Right.
or start with a smile. If you feel like you just can't bring yourself you can't muster up the strength to speak, just smile, just nod and smile, and work your way up to it. It's baby steps. We understand,
And look, I need some of Vanessa's cards, because I'm going to every place that there's a goddess working the cash register, and I'm going to give her a card, because I don't know what's wrong with my goddesses that are working in the stores and the cash registers. They don't speak. They head down. I mean, look, I'm about to pass out some cards. I'm about to start passing out her cards. We have to release this anger, because what's going on inside of us affects what's going on outside of us. So, hey, it's all this war going on, fighting and killing. If we heal our wounds, we might can live in, more peace and harmony. So,
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to get some of your cards, though. I might have to print off something off your website, girl, because it's a lot of goddesses.
That's cool. I was going to say, there's a hashtag, and it's called, on Instagram, it's #QueenSupportQueens. You just got to, know that if we support one another, there's nothing wrong with that. And I just want to read a quick quote that, I read a lot of quotes, but there's a lot of things there's a lot of inspirational things on Instagram. And it says, I wish more people realize that helping someone else win, cheering for someone else, praying for someone else, or sharing a resource with someone else does not take away what's coming to them. A matter of fact, the more they give, the more they will receive. Self-preservation doesn't come from selfishness, but rather selflessness. And that was by Paul Carrick-Brunson. And I wholly believe that. I just believe, I've just seen it so many times where people just kind of keep things to themselves, and they don't want to share it because they don't you know, they don't want to have any competition or anything like that. And for me, it's just like,
Right.
well, I don't know. I just think it's sharing that knowledge or helping somebody else doesn't affect you. Like, if it's for you, then it's for you. Like, it's nothing wrong with letting somebody know of a resource that you've had. Like, nothing wrong at all. So just remember that, Queens. Like, it's good to share. Just keep sharing with other people.
It is, and that's what keeps. I mean, because when you win, we all win. You know, so why keep things, you know, to yourself and be stingy with information that can help empower people? I just don't understand, and there's enough room for everybody down here. You know, to do the same thing, different things. I mean, it shouldn't matter. So I definitely agree. And we, once again, we thank you for your work, young goddess, and keep it up. And we would definitely be having you back on for more updates. And don't forget, goddesses, to please get in contact with Vanessa, spread the word, and also let us know how your experience went with the pearls.
Yes. Thank you, goddesses. I really appreciate being on the Goddess Suite tonight with some nice tea. Love y'all.
Thank you. Love you too, goddess.
All right. We love everybody, and thanks for tuning in tonight. All our goddesses and kings out there, we're glad that you're supporting us, and we're back, and we're going to keep bringing things to you live, all the crazy topics that others don't want to discuss. We're going to bring it to you anyway. So just thanks for the support and love, and we love you.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. Good night.